Hey everyone, right, so let's get into a little breakdown video of Farewell Shadow, which was the final track I wrote for Discovery, and basically I had to hand the album in the next day, and I really wasn't happy with the last tune on there. What happened was I woke up the next morning, and I write an idea every morning anyway, but yeah, I basically woke up and I was like, I've got to make something, you know, that can replace this tune that I don't like. And yeah, this was the result. You ain't my number. So yeah, it's a really simple tune. I wrote it in 16 hours in one session pretty much, and mixed it, everything. I usually don't work that quickly, and you know, it's just must. So that's how this sort of came about. Anyway, let's take a look at everything that kind of goes into it. We'll start with the drums, because that's seems like the right place to start. So I made this kick in Serum. I don't actually have the patch here, but yeah, it's in tune with the song, which is in E flat minor, which is always a good thing to do, particularly the kick. I mean the snare as well, if possible. I mean, this kick sort of sounds quite synthetic and a bit tacky, but once you layer it with the, you know, the rest of the drums, it sounds fine. It does a job. It sort of really, let's see, where is it? You can see it fills out a really nice sort of thick area of the low end, which sort of works well. So anyway, all I did to it was I added a bit of saturation from, this is a free Softube plugin, which I use quite a lot because it's just really nice, simple saturation. And then a bit of satin on the low end, on the warm tape setting, which if you take these off, it sounds incredibly thin. So yeah, that's the kick. The snare that's another one that I made in Serum. I've used it a few times on a few different tunes. It's layered up with a clap and a live snare as well. It just, you know, it works just to sort of back up the break. You know, it's got a really nice attack to it, and it's very clean. On its own, it doesn't really sound that great, but you know, when you layer it under a break, yeah, it really sort of brings the break to life. Okay, this is, so Bondi is Inside Info's real name, and yeah, anyway, this is like a high pass snare he gave me some drums ages ago, and it's super wide, and it's just got a nice top end, so when you add it to this snare, it just fills out the stereo width at the top of the snare quite nicely. Yes. Then some very simple hats. I always, you know, years ago I used to sort of like high pass my hi-hats, but you really want a lot of this information below sort of 4K. Because it does add to the groove of the drums quite a lot. Right, I think that largely covers the drums. Oh, there are these sort of little edits with the break, which I achieved those just by using this, which is this is a live glitching plugin. I've never found a glitch plugin which is as good as what the hell was it called? There's one by Smart Electronics, which I used to use for years and years and years, and basically they stopped supporting that plugin in the new versions of Logic, and yeah, it's a real pain in the arse because there's nothing. It's called Super Trigger, I think. Yeah, I've not found anything to replace it. That does a job. You can make some pretty cool beat edits with it, but it's not the same. Oh wait, here's some more drum stuff. Okay, so yep, just kind of groovy shaker and some little percussion bits, and this, which is Travis Barker live break, where I've just taken one hit and high passed it, and it's really wide as well, and all that stuff just adds to the top end of the drums. So yeah, really simple. I mean, I would put a lot more detail in these drums normally if I had more time, but I was under a real kind of time constraint, so yeah, I don't know what I've done to that, but anyway. And a little reverse break there as well. Yeah, usually, I'd like to have a lot more detail going on in my drums. Just all there is just these little bits and pieces that are from various splice packs. But yeah, nothing terribly exciting in these drums. But then, not every tune has to have really exciting drums. Right, so let's get on to the sub. So, yeah, the sub... Oh no, wait. This is the original... Oh no, this is the new track spacer. So, that's just sort of sidechain to the kick. This is so much better than the original track spacer was. It was a great idea, but there was so much resonance when you sort of used the low cut and the high cut that I found it practically unusable. But they've got rid of that in this one, and it is so good for ducking specific frequencies. I mean, there's other options like duck is, that you can do high and low. It's not quite the same. The advantage with this one is you can actually see what's playing through it. That's kind of cool. I use that sometimes for some stuff. Laser is one that TB put me onto, which you can. Let's get a kick here. So this will show you sort of what the kick's doing and stuff, and you can be like, right, I want to reduce the low end, and I want it to roughly follow this shape of the kick. Yeah, I mean that one's cool, but I do prefer track spacer. Anyway, so what I did with the sub is really simple, but in this tune, actually, after I'd sidechained it, I actually cut the sub so that every single time the kick is hitting the attack of the kick, it is actually completely silent. It's quite a drastic way of doing it. I mean, it will get you more volume, but it can sound a bit weird if your ear detects that the sub is sort of constantly cutting in and out. Anyway, it seems to work on this tune. So yeah, this is the patch for the sub. Which, yeah, it's the slightly sort of shaped sine wave, this one, which has a kind of nice overtone to it. And then, yeah, I've also got this, which has been slightly shaped as well. Yeah, and a little bit of a boost in the sort of harmonics department. I probably wouldn't do the sub in this way, but you know, every tune's an experiment, right? So yes, so that is the sub. It's pretty damn simple. Right, let's deal with some of the music, because that is quite important in this tune. Right, so this is basically the main loop that you're hearing through pretty much all of the tune. And that comes from here, which it's some pretty simple chords, and so it's a sampled patch. It's by these guys Spitfire Audio. They do their plugins are generally made for composers who score films and stuff, but so this plugin is free. It's called Labs, and you can basically go and download sort of all these different packs for free. Highly recommend going and checking their stuff out. So yeah, this basically is a sort of weird whale sound where I think I fiddled with the attack on it, and it's just sounds sort of really unsynthetic, which is good. That's kind of what we're going for with this stuff. I think if you can try and make things sound like they're not just coming straight out of a synth, it's definitely a positive. So yes, that is then just backed up with this, which is also by Spitfire Audio, which is the cinematic piano, and this is I can't remember how much it was. I think it was about £30, but yeah, really worth it. Really nice soft piano sounds in there. So yeah, this playing the same chords. Oh yeah, just with a sort of low B flat in there, which yeah, once you put them together, it just adds a bit of an attack because the other one's so soft. So it's, you know, once you put them together, they kind of like bounce off each other. So yeah, that's pretty much all the music is doing. I think there's so yeah, the vocal is, this is from a splice pack, and yeah, it just worked straight away, and I was like, that's perfect. It, you know, you could be looking for vocal samples on Splice for hours and hours. Sometimes you just find one straight away, which is what happened here. It's the only way I could get this tune done so quickly. So yeah, a bit of processing. Soothe, if you do not have Soothe 2, it's a little bit pricey, but it's absolutely essential in my opinion. It's like a real-time, it finds all the resonant frequencies and reduces them real time, and then you can set how sharp you want it to be, how much depth on it, etc, etc. It is a brilliant plugin. Absolutely love that. If you don't have it, definitely get it. Bit of this one, which I haven't really fully worked this plugin out. Another not so cheap one, but yeah, it's not the same as Soothe. It does recover. It recovers audio. It uses AI to listen to what's coming in, and yeah, it's cool. It's definitely cool, but yes, I can't fully explain it because I can't really. You know, it's a real-time EQ basically, and if you can get hold of it, it is good. But yeah, it requires some sort of playing around with. This is another essential plugin for me. I don't even know if they sell it anymore though, which might be a bit of an issue. This is a copy of a hardware plugin that Kush Audio do. It's just brilliant for adding top end. I actually think I used it on the drum bus as well. I usually do. Yeah, just a really nice top end EQ. Oh yeah, so this is the held chord. I was kind of going for this kind of like going for this kind of like old Groove Rider kind of sound. I can't really think what tune in particular, but yeah. So this is from the ME80, which is yes, by Memory Moon, and it is a copy of CS80, and it's a really good one. I actually saw this on it was a Sub Focus video, and he recommended it, and I tried it out, and I was like, yes, this is great for doing these kind of sounds. So yeah, I like these held chords where you sort of you know, sevenths and stuff. Yeah, they just sort of have a really nice warm sound to them. And yeah, that is pretty much it for all the musical stuff. There's like various bits in the background like this. A lot of people overlook this kind of stuff, but it's really good to add some texture. So these are from Arcade, another essential plugin. Yeah, it's basically like shitloads of samples, all presented in this very easy to use way, very easy to edit, and yes, and pitch around, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, sort of like a sample library within a plugin. I use it quite often. I think I used it on this as well. Oh yeah, I mean, that is just a lovely cinematic sound. Really reminds me of the soundtrack to Book of Eli by Atticus Ross, which is, yeah, I think maybe I watched it around that time. Anyway, yeah, this is another arcade thing. So yeah, with this you get, you get sort of all these different libraries, and they're constantly updating them. You have to pay, I don't know, it's about a £10 a month, but well worth it. So yeah, I think that covers almost everything in this song. That's the thing, it's so simple. Oh yeah, I was going to show you the drum bus. So yeah, right, so yeah, with the drum bus there's just very tiniest bit of compression. So with compressing a drum bus, I like to sort of like just do something that makes a cool kind of like groove, rather than I don't know, rather than sort of like being really technical about it. I just sort of do something that sounds nice in terms of like the way the drums are breathing and stuff, and then just dial it back so that you can hardly hear it, and it just kind of it adds like a bit of color and emotion to the drums that perhaps you wouldn't get if you didn't bother compressing stuff. So yeah, a little bit of that, and a little bit of you can hear how much shine that brings. I mean, this is just amazing plugin. So yes, that, and then standard clip, which was recommended to me. It's something that Break and DLR they use it, so incredible producers. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. But yeah, all it's doing is just clipping the drums so that when they hit the output, they're not spiky, and then the final limit's not going to have to do so much. Oh yeah, people have asked me what this is. That's a sample of my dog. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, these bass sounds. So yes. Wow, you can see how much stuff. I mean, this always happens with mid-range bass. The amount of processing that I seem to end up putting on stuff. Yeah, but it needs it. Yeah, you see there, you can really hear what this Gullfoss is doing. And then yeah, sort of ducking quite a lot of the stereo here. Don't know why, but clearly I thought it needed it. So yeah, this, yeah, still got the patch. Yeah, that's right. That's pretty much it, I think. Okay, so yes, I hope you enjoyed this very short video, just running through Farewell Shadow, and let me know if there's any other tunes you want me to cover. I don't actually have access to my external hard drive with a lot of old stuff on it, so it may not be possible at this point, but yeah, let me know if there's any other sort of like info you want me to cover in the next one, because yes, this is my first video and I'm not completely sure if it was useful. Anyway, right, I will leave it there, and thank you as ever for subscribing, and I will see you soon. Peace.